Welcome to Simbo TV Shola News. Here it is Daniel's Abigail. Headlines: Mahama slams government over power cuts, VAT on electricity. NPP has agreed for Bawumia'S running mate to come from Ashanti region. Make payments of nurses training allowance obligatory for every government. Back to the news. The flag bearer of the Opposition National Democratic Congress (NDC) for the election 2024, Dramani Mahama, has said the government is returning the country to the days of severe power crisis christened doomsday. Parts of the country have been experiencing erratic power cuts for some time now, leading to frustration and anger among some Ghanaians. For most electricity consumers, they are unhappy with the lack of prior communication and explanation for the widespread outrages. Government owes the West African Pipeline Company, WAPCO, an amount of $19 million, confirming the amount a Deputy Minister of Energy, Andrew Echapa Mesa, said the government has settled $30 million of that, leaving an arrest of $6 million. He assured the government is in talk with WAPCO to come out with a payment of plan for remaining $6 million. Deputy Minister for Energy also explained that the recent power outage experienced in parts of the capital, Accra, caused by fuel shortage. Speaking at a stakeholder meeting with the members of the NDC during his Building Ghana tour at Sogakope in the Volta region, Mr. Mahama emphasized that should the NDC return to office, his government will inherit power cut problem the party had fixed before assisting office. Today, doomsday, they are treating it like a football because want to kick it over the 7th January 2025 line and handle trouble over to somewhere else. And yet, we resolve it before they come into office. Government has asked the Ghana Revenue Authority to liaise with the two countries' power distributing companies to transfer value-added tax, VAT, generated from consumers who have exceeded line power consumption. Mr. Mahama condemned this move, saying it will further burden consumers who are already paying more for electricity due to existing taxes on power. Today, they have put value-added tax on electricity bill, a COVID level, NIHU level, credit fund level, all on electricity bill, and so that is going on to send the cost of your electricity bill up already. There was a 29% increase, there was 90% increase, then they have tried to fool us with 4% increase, and now it's going up again astronomically, held limited. Many businesses continue to suffer due to the hiccups in tariffs. John Mahama believes a reduction in government expenditure could help reduce excessive tax that have resulted in hikes in price of goods and services. It's making Ghanaians very difficult to place to do business. Business people are complaining. The owner of the hotel who has given us this result to do this thing. You should ask him how much he is paying in utility bill. And yet, because of the mismanagement by the president and his cousin and his vice president, it has plunged all of us into a difficult situation where they have pleaded to the IMF, International Monetary Fund, to raise such amount revenue as they can. And the point is, while you are raising revenue, reduce your expenditure, because that is what any sane, reasonable person does. Because you reduce your expenditure, you can ease the burden that you are putting on the taxpayers. If they cut down the expenditure of the office of the president, they have doubled it. Year-on-year budget went by 82 billion cedis. And so if you reduce the rest of the budget in terms of expenditure, then you could reduce incidence of tax. You might not need to replace value-added tax on electricity, so that you pass the relief on to the people of Ghana, the former president noted. Meanwhile, the former president has assured that the NDC will restrict itself from starting new projects but focus completing new ones. All the projects that they inherited they have abandoned and they themselves have started projects that they know they cannot complete. And yet, instead of finishing the abandoned and ongoing projects, they have started new projects like Agenda 111. Some of them are at foundation level. Some they have raised the block works, but they know that they cannot finish it before they leave. So what they would do is to push them onto somebody and say that we started this and they came and they have abandoned it. But look at this mess we have created. How are we going to get money to finish all those projects the former president excused? But I pray that we will restrain ourselves from starting new projects. Whatever little resources that we come and meet, we will spend it on completing the ongoing hand-abandoned projects. The first Deputy Speaker, Joseph Osei Owusu, has added his voice to call for Vice President Dr. Bawumia'S to be selected from the Ashanti region. This followed intense competition among some New Patriotic Party members of Parliament over who partner with the newly elected flag bearer, Dr. Bawumia. Names that have emerged so far are Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, the Minister of Energy Majority Leader, Osei Bosu, First Deputy Speaker, Joseph Osei Owusu, and Education Minister, Dr. Yao Osei Adumtu. The Ghana Nurse Midwifery Training Association is urging the government to make the payments for nursing training allowance mandatory by making it a government policy rather than a mere campaign promise. The president of the association, Pascal Adumbisa, complained about the poor condition of student nurses across the country and added that the government must put in a place measure to reduce their burden. Speaking to the launch of the 31st National Delegates Congress in Accra, Mr. Adumbisa stressed the importance of securing this allowance in the government policy to ensure consistency across political administrations. He said, we could propose that allowances should be made a government policy instead of a campaign policy. In that case, no political party can alter it. It should become obligatory so that any government that comes to power will be obligatory for them to do the needful. The GNMTA president also called for the timely release of monthly allowances, proposing direct disbursement from the Controller and Accountant General Department for efficient access. In 2014, President John Mahama of the National Democratic Congress (NDC) scrapped the teachers and nurses training allowances. The government explained it was necessary to use the money to invest in education infrastructures. Although the MPP government restored the payments as a campaign promises, some of the trainees say the payments have not been prompt. Thanks for watching Symbol TV, GH Online News. Here with is Daniels Abigail.